Okay. Well, welcome everyone. We are Suzanne and Steve Klasen. We are the owners of CruiseOne in Sholo, Arizona. And we want to welcome you all and thank you all for joining us at this informative meeting. We're very happy if you're joining us live or if you're watching the recorded webinar. We're excited to share the details about this. It really is an amazing itinerary and why Holland America offers one of the best cruising experiences in Europe. So here's our agenda for tonight. We're going to share with you a little bit about our travel agency and what our core values are. And then we'll reveal why Holland America is your best choice for Northern Europe as we go through this wonderful itinerary. And then Steve and I are going to share with you also some of our experience on Holland America and our recent sailings and why we enjoy it so much. So what is our agency about? We deliver extraordinary vacation experiences to our clients. That is what we're all about. We've been in business for 12 years, and we have many years of traveling the world. And we use that experience that we have with our own personal travels to help you plan an extraordinary vacation experience. We like to build long-term relationships, collaborative relationships with our clients. And our goal is to help you have a completely seamless cruise planning experience that is as attentive and personalized as the cruise itself. We ourselves are avid travelers and we escort a lot of our groups, and that is what this one is. This will be an escorted group. And we are so thankful now that almost nearly every cruise line has adopted the Starlink internet service, which means that we are able to run our business from anywhere in the world, even in the middle of the ocean. Because we have a strong relationship with Holland America, you have got an insider working on your behalf. Not only are you working with someone, our team, that knows all the ins and outs of cruising in Holland America, but we have 12 years experience and both ship and destination expertise working on your behalf. And the best part is you'll never pay more going through our agency than you would booking directly with Holland America. Because we have proactively secured group rates, and they're actually even a little bit better than what you would get if you booked directly with Holland America. We're easy to reach by phone, text, email. We're always just a phone call away. So Steve and I love partnering with Holland America. We took our honeymoon 31 years ago, and most recently we sailed with them in 2022. Right after the relaunch of cruising, we took a fabulous 24-day round trip Boston cruise that went to Canada, Greenland, and Iceland. And just this May, we took a 28-night transatlantic that also included a 14-night Baltics. We love the Baltics cruise so much, we wanted to put together a group and take some more people because we felt like it was such an amazing destination. So now is the best time to book your Holland American European experience. We've got our low group rates, and plus you get the perks of the Have It All early booking bonus. And this really is the best value in cruising. You get the elite beverage package, the prepaid crew appreciation, which is just another fancy word for gratuities, premium Wi-Fi upgrade. You get a credit for your shore excursions. You get specialty dining, and of course, a low price guarantee. So let's jump into the itinerary. There you see a summary of it right there. All these wonderful capitals along the Baltic in 14 days. And I'm going to go into each one of them a little bit and share with you our experience in that port, or if it's a new port, just some of the highlights of that port. So this map gives us a great visual reference of where we will be visiting. Baltic Sea is a really incredible place to sail, and we really enjoyed our time there this year. The cruise starts in Rotterdam, which is one of the largest ports in South Holland, or the Netherlands. After being almost completely destroyed at the beginning of World War II, the city decided to rebuild most of its city in a modern architectural style. There still is a lot of history there. There's a maritime museum with vintage ships that are exhibited. And there is the 17th century Delfshaven neighborhood which is home to a lot like canal side shopping. The Pilgrim Fathers Church is there, and that's where the Pilgrims worshipped before they came to America. These pictures that you see here are the kind of upside down cube housing that are famous in the downtown area. And then I have two pictures that we took at the wonderful marketplace where you can literally buy all kinds of gourmet food and goodies and Dutch cheese and sausage. We had a great time just going around and trying different things at that marketplace in Rotterdam when we were last there.
We did our honeymoon on is now a floating museum in Rotterdam.
Yeah, that's right. And it's a hotel too. We need to stay there on this trip. Okay. You got to promise that we're going to do that. So the first city we're going to visit is in Denmark. It's Onboard, and this is a new city for us. It is a population of only about 16,000 people. It is on the large Danish island of Zealand, and it is on the opposite side of that island from Copenhagen. It has one of the best preserved medieval towns in Denmark, and this 5-tower church is one of the architectural marvels there. There's also a modern section of Onboard. There is Onboard. They have shopping and cafes, and it's the third largest port, so it's used to welcoming a lot of guests. They have apparently ferries that run back between there and England quite a bit. So Warnemede. So you have a choice at the port of Warnemede. You can either do an all-day excursion to Berlin, which is really amazing. I mean, Berlin's capital of Germany, and there's so much history there, architecture. This, of course, is the Brandenburg Gate, which separated the old East Berlin from West Berlin. But there's also a possibility to just stay in Warnemede and visit the nearby town of Rostock. And that's what we did when we were there in May of this year. We got off the ship. We walked by a couple of interesting looking museums that my husband quickly ran past because he doesn't like museums. And we bought our tickets to a ferry that took us up the river to the town of Rostock. And then we were able to explore that on our own. There's some small museums there. Warnemede, the city itself, if you just stayed in Warnemede, they have the widest sandy beach in the German Baltic sea coast. So there's lots of possibilities at this port. A lot of people took the full day tour to Berlin, which is a great thing to do. I might be able to talk Steve into doing that. He's not big on full day tours, but yeah, but we really enjoyed Rostock. So if, full day tours are not your thing, you might enjoy that boat ride. And heck, the boat ride itself was fun. You could just ride the boat up and ride it right back. That was kind of a nice little scenic tour from Warnemede to Rostock. So lots of things to do, whether you go into Berlin or you stay close by. Now, Tallinn, Estonia, that's what's behind me in my little box here. This was one of my favorite ports that we visited. We took a Holland America shuttle into the old town, and they drop you off. And then we were able to walk around the old medieval town. We saw all the ramparts and the fortifications. There is a part that is uphill. That's where we're standing when we took this picture. But you can see that there's a considerable part and lots of interesting buildings and towers and fortifications that are down in the lower part. So if, climbing up a big hill is not your thing, there was lots to see down in this flat part. Beautiful city, lots of churches. There is a 15th century Gothic tower and a Gothic town hall from the 13th century. There's the St. Nicholas Church, which is a 13th century landmark, and it has lots of ecclesiastical art. So lots of things to do in Tallinn. We enjoyed our day there. We found a medieval themed restaurant, and it was really funny because they were all dressed like medieval wenches and jesters and kind of silly, but the food was really good, and it really paid tribute to the city's medieval history. That's something we sometimes like to do, is just go into town and have a local lunch. That way we're having some of the local cuisine and getting a real feel of what the town is like. Helsinki, Finland. This is Finland's southern capital. And there is a central avenue right downtown where they have their National Museum of Finnish History, which traces their history from the Stone Age to the present. Their Parliament building is also located in this town, and there's a contemporary art museum. There's even a ornate let me see what it's called, Uspensky Cathedral, that overlooks the harbor. It's a beautiful waterfront area with lots of shops. This is one of those town marketplaces. It's a food hall where they sell cheese and specialty meats and deli items to go. And then there's also little restaurants in there where you can see the Holland America ship parked a little bit a ways from here. But what Holland America does is they don't advertise it ahead of time, but almost always in every port, if it's a considerable distance into town, they will offer a shuttle bus, and they don't announce it till like the day before where it is, what the timing is, and what the cost is. But it's usually one of the easiest ways to get into town on your own, and it's very, very reasonably priced. And you can go in and walk around these towns and explore on your own, or you can take a Holland America organized tour or an independent tour. We thought Helsinki was just a lovely little town. There was a marketplace going on in this area where people were selling fruits, vegetables, souvenirs, meats, all kinds of things. So it was a lively, very happening place. And it was such a beautiful day that a lot of the locals were out walking around, as well as the guests from the cruise ship. So Stockholm is capital of Sweden, and it is built on 14 different islands. And there's more than 50 bridges in this area. There's lots of cobblestone streets, but one of the best ways to see this is by sea or by boat. There are little tourist boats that will take you all around the different islands, and you can see Stockholm kind of from that perspective. We chose to do a walking tour. There you can see there's me with my famous bun. This was a little bit uphill, but they had all these beautiful old, I guess those are like Renaissance buildings. And the Museum of the Nobel Prize is here. And there's also the palace, the Royal Palace is located in this town. And like I said, there's ferries and sightseeing buses. We took the Holland America shuttle into town so we could kind of get our orientation. And then we decided it was a lovely day and it wasn't too far to walk. We walked back to the ship. Visby, Sweden. This might be one of my favorite little ports that we visited, because it's this cute little medieval town. There's all these beautiful fortifications around, vistas where you can look. There was a botanical garden. There's like a sea walk where you can walk along the sea. And of course, a cute little downtown area with all kinds of shops and cafes. We went into the St. Mary's Cathedral. It was beautifully preserved and restored. And there's also medieval ruins of several older churches that must have burned down at one time, because they're kind of like, you can just kind of see the shell of the church. And the main square is called Stora Torget, and it has cobblestone streets. And like I said, the cafes and the restaurants and the shops. It was a lovely little town. Again, Holland America provided a shuttle bus at a very reasonable price to go into town. There's also was a hop-on, hop-off bus that you could book to kind of go more around the island, because it's a pretty big island. It's not like the island is just the one little town. A very interesting place to visit. And this is a new port for us. We have never been to Poland, so that's one of the reasons we decided to do this cruise. It's going to visit Gdansk, Poland. And this town was mostly destroyed in World War II, and you can see from these pictures, they tried to build it up like it used to look as much as possible. This Neptune fountain is one of the famous landmarks in the city. There's lots of things to do there. They say you can wander around the old town. You can take a historic walking tour. Just multiple things you can do there. And I'm excited because I've never been to Poland. And this looks to be just a wonderful little town to visit. So Kiel and Hamburg. So this is another one of those cities where you dock in Kiel. And that's where we stayed. We decided just to explore this town. And I meant to mention this. Most of these pictures you're seeing in this presentation are my own. So this is one we took when we were walking around town. It was a beautiful little town with this park and these lakes. And they had a wonderful downtown shopping district, which was kind of modern, which was kind of nice. After seeing all these old medieval towns, it was kind of nice to be in a modern shopping district. We grabbed a little lunch there. Of all things, we had Bavarian lunch, and this is not Bavaria. So, we were a little goofy in our placement in Germany. When we were in Rostock, we had an authentic meal from that particular region of Germany. But we're like, oh, it's a Bavarian restaurant. We love Bavarian food. We went there. But if you want to go into Hamburg, which is a much bigger city, much bigger port, you can take a full day, or I think they even offer like a half day tour because it's not that far. Go into Hamburg, see some of the many wonderful things there, the canals. There's lots of parks there, and there's kind of an inner core where you're going to have boats and cafes, and there's the city central. Let me see if I can say this right. Jungfernstieg Boulevard. It connects the old town and the new town. So you'd be able to see both the old part of Hamburg and the new part. And probably the old part was probably mostly destroyed in World War II, but they built it back up. A lot of German cities were rebuilt in their old style after the war. So Copenhagen, Denmark. This was one of my favorite places that we visited because we got to see it from land and sea. So we had a bus pick us up at the cruise terminal, which is a little bit outside the city. We drove into the town. We got a little panoramic tour of the town. And then we got on, and you can just see the roof of it here, one of those little tourist boats that takes you around. This building, I believe, is called the Black Diamond. That's a modern building. And I believe that this building is possibly like the old Parliament building. I kind of think, I'm not exactly sure, but we saw both this new modern architecture and some of this older historic architecture. We got a lovely kind of overview of the town. There was time for a little bit of shopping, a little bit of snacking. And then after we finished our time in downtown, they took us to the park where you can see the Little Mermaid. And I feel like if you're going to go to Copenhagen, you got to go see the Little Mermaid, and you and 10,000 of your best friends will be there to see the Little Mermaid. But that picture was taken. Look, you don't see any tourists in that picture. So I'm pretty proud of that picture. I got one without any tourists in it. And then we head back to Rotterdam. And of course, there's a couple of sea days, which Holland America makes so much fun. This picture here, though, is the one I took when we were in Amsterdam. This is the market hall. So, or excuse me, in Rotterdam. This is that place where they had all those food vendors and spice vendors. And it was just really interesting to see all the beautiful modern architecture in Rotterdam. And this is right in the downtown area. So now that we know where we're going, I thought it would be important to tell you how you're going, tell you a little bit more about the Holland America experience. So we really strive to deliver high quality vacations to our clients. And that's one of the reasons we like partnering with Holland America. We feel like their mid-sized ships are just the perfect size. They're not too big, but they're not so small that you're missing out on amenities. So let's talk a little bit about who Holland America is for. It's for explorers, people who like to see the world. They take you to so many different destinations around the world. It's for foodies. The food on Holland America is excellent. And we've enjoyed both our main dining room meals. I mean, we spent 28 days in May on Holland America, and we really did not get tired of the food. There was enough variety, and it was so well prepared and delivered, executed in a very good way. Like your steak is cooked right, it's hot, all those things that make your food experience good. We also love the music program. I mean, we were in the Rolling Stone Rock Room jamming out every night during that cruise, just about. And we really enjoyed the variety of music they played. Renowned service, the cabin stewards, the waiters, all excellent, friendly, enthusiastic, just all there to give you the kind of service that's going to bring you back again and again. And then the size of the ships, we talked about that before. I just think they're perfect size. And talk about exploring. So we love Holland America and cruising in general because you unpack once and you get to see so many of these different places around the world. Another highlight of Holland America is their global fresh fish program. It offers 80 varieties of fresh fish sourced locally worldwide. So you're always going to have the freshest fish. Their fresh fish ambassador, let's see if I can say this, Masahara Morimoto, which we all know from Iron Chef. We love the fact that, well, I do. My husband doesn't eat fish. He only eats fish and chips, and they do have that, which is excellent. But I eat a large variety of fish and seafood, and I really have enjoyed the fresh fish on Holland America. These are some of my own photos of the food on our 24-night cruise that we did in 2023. The pizzeria is amazing. There's some nights where you might just want to skip the main dining room, especially on a longer cruise, hang out in the area by the pool and enjoy a pizza because their pizzas are very good. The dive-in is their fast food restaurant, no charge for this. Excellent hamburgers and hot dogs. And at some of the sail away parties, they have these little light bites that you can get. And then there's, of course, they had the beef tenderloin, but I wanted to have surf and turf. So they also had the fish and chips. They put on a little piece of fish for me on my plate as well. The Lido Marketplace is sort of their answer to a buffet, but it's not really a buffet because they have all these different stations with different types of food, and your food in some cases is prepared for you a la minute and then plated to you. A beautiful fresh food, excellent choices there. You can see they have a wide variety. We love the Asian station there. They have sushi, which if you like sushi is good, but they also have Indonesian, Indian, Thai. They kind of rotate it around, Filipino dishes, lots of different things that you can enjoy in the Lido Marketplace. And the specialty dining. So I'll talk to you about how the Have It All is going to include 2 specialty dining experiences. Plus, we might have another one for you on this cruise as well. This is our Pinnacle Grill in Canaletto. Canaletto is the Italian restaurant. Pinnacle Grill, famous for their steaks and also their curtain of bacon, which is absolutely delicious, and their chocolate souffle. Very good food in their specialty restaurants. So let's talk about the live music. They have one of the best live music programs. This ship will have the B.B. King's Blues Club, the Rolling Stone Rock Room. They'll have the Billboard on board, which is their sing-along piano bar. And those entertainers are always so much fun and so engaging. They really get the crowd going and get them, singing along and participating and making requests. That's a lot of fun. And then they also have a jazz trio that's playing that on Holland America now, and that's called Third Avenue West. This is just a picture from one of the shows in the world stage. They have lots of different events on the world stage. They have the BBC Earth in Concert, which they have the BBC Earth movies, and they have a live orchestra playing along. This is where the Step One Dance Company performs, and that's a group of dancers, and they usually have some of the singers that sing with the rock bands come in and sing as part of those shows as well. And then they have guest entertainers. This particular group was doing a trip to boy bands, and that's a tribute to boy bands. But they have a lot of variety there. Again, that renowned service. Holland America staff is like no other. They are just so eager to please and so friendly and just take care of every detail for you. And I have an example of that. So this is our crudités that we requested about 3 nights into that 28-day cruise. We're like, we really shouldn't be filling up on all this bread. We were traveling with my friend Michael and his 4-year-old son. So it was the 4 of us. The 4-year-old would eat the bread and then not eat his meal. So we asked if they would just bring us some sliced vegetables instead of bread. And we thought, there's no way they're going to get that right. This was what was waiting for us on our table the next night when we came to the dining room. It was perfect. And when they saw how much we enjoyed it, the next night they brought 2 of them. And I have to tell you, the 4-year-old, he was eating these too. He doesn't like the ranch dressing, but he was eating his vegetables. His daddy taught him well to eat his vegetables. And then I also have this picture. They had a really different event on our long cruise, and I don't know if they would do it on the 14th night, but they had a county fair, like a county carnival, and they had carnival games where you could roll a bowling ball and knock over pins, or try to throw a hoop on a stick. And if you got something, you won a prize, and then you got to you won a ticket, and then you could put it in a hat for a prize drawing. It's kind of fun. But they had all the carnival junk food, like popcorn and candied apples. And Steve, can you help me out? What else did they have at the thing? Like cheese balls, maybe? I don't know.
There's chicken strips and stuff like that.
Yeah, it was really good. It was a fun event, and the 4 of us went, and there were a bunch of 70-year-old children running around having the best time playing those games, and then even little 4-year-old James enjoyed the carnival event. That was a nice event. So our ship that we're going to sail on is a Pinnacle class ship. So these are two of them side by side. They are the most innovative ships that Holland America has. And one of the reasons I really like the Pinnacle class is they have the music walk. So that's where you go from the Rolling Stone Rock Room to the piano bar, and then you go into the B.B. King's Blues Club. And they're all like right on the same level. And there's a door separating them so you don't get sound. But it gives you a variety of entertainment. And the Rolling Stone Rock Band alternates with the piano bar. So you can stay in the same place and enjoy both of them. You don't have to get up and move around. I just really like the entertainment layout on these ships. And they're a nice size. They're 11 decks and just 2,000 passengers. So it's not like Icon of the Seas with 7,000 passengers. These are new, innovative ships, but still modest in size. And one of the things I love about are the beautiful public spaces on these ships. There's the covered atrium pool. They also have an open air pool that's on the back, and the main dining room. It's just beautiful. They've designed it to look like the inside of a musical instrument. So again, paying tribute to that musical heritage that Holland America promotes. So this is your home away from home. This is the Startsat balcony cabin. Very nice. You've got a nice, almost king size bed. You know, it's a little bigger than a queen, a little smaller than a king, and a full sofa, a desk, and shared that desk is important to me because I always work when I'm on a cruise, but lovely appointed rooms on this ship. And then lively atmosphere. So people used to tell me all the time, Holland America's for old people. But after experiencing our latest cruises, either I'm finally old enough to enjoy Holland America, I don't know, or I think it's more this. Holland America has something for all ages. It really is a cruise for all ages. I feel like you're only as old as you feel, and Holland America has a little something for everyone. And you can be as active or relaxed as you want on a Holland America cruise. So I want to talk to you a little bit about the Club Orange upgrade option, because we are booking early enough that we can get you the Club Orange upgrade. And I'll explain what it is. So you book, let's go to use the example of the veranda cabins. So those are categorized as VH is the cheapest, all the way to V and VA. Those are the more expensive ones. And its location on the ship. You book at the VH price plus $15 per person per day. And that gets you into the Club Orange dining room for breakfast and dinner. This is a picture of that dining room. It's exclusive to people who have done the Club Orange upgrade or who have booked suites that qualify for Club Orange. So you book the least expensive category in the super category, interior, ocean view, or balcony, and then you can upgrade to the best cabin or the cabin of your choice within that super category. And if you want a prime location cabin, it sometimes works out less expensive. And that's why we did it. We've signed up for Club Orange. It's less expensive to add the Club Orange to the VH than it would have been to book the VC, which we booked. So well worth it. If you're interested in that and you think that your traveling companions would also be doing Club Orange, now's the time to book, because it is capacity controlled. And once it reaches full capacity for this dining room, they don't allow any more Club Orange upgrades. So there's still plenty now because we're super early. So let's talk about what's included with your Holland America cruise, with your basic cruise fare. Of course, your accommodations, your fine dining in the main dining room, your casual dining in all those different places that I talked about, your gym, there's movies in the theater and movies on your TV. They do cooking demonstrations. They have enrichment lectures where people will talk about the local culture or something related to the places you're visiting. Lots of activities. Like I said, you can do as much or as little as you want. This ship even has a pickleball court. So if you play pickleball, this is a great ship to go on. And of course, that nightly entertainment and that music walk and in the theater, they have production shows, plus they also have those guest entertainers. And then of course, your standard beverages, juice with breakfast, tea, brewed coffee, ice water. Room service is included, and then they even have an afternoon tea service, which is snack time basically in the Lido marketplace. People always ask me about laundry, so I throw this in because there's not self-service laundry on this ship. If you want to do all you can fit in a bag, it's $35 per bag. But what we usually do is we do the $8.50 per day for the entire voyage. And this says that we send a bag out every a couple of days. I think some days we sent 2 or 3 bags out, and then we waited till we had a pile of dirty clothes, and then we sent some more. So it really makes it a lot easier for packing. You can pack 7 days worth of clothes and get them washed several times while you're on the cruise. So now we've talked about what was included with the basic cruise fare. And now I'm going to talk to you about the Have It All program, because this really is the best value in cruising. You get free, because we're booking early, we get it with the early booking bonus. So you get free prepaid crew appreciation, which again is free prepaid gratuities. You get a low price guarantee. So if you find an identical fare before the offer expires, they'll reprice you. You get shore excursion credits. So on a 10 to 20 day cruise, the 14-day cruise, you're going to get $200 per person that you can use to pre-purchase your shore excursions before the cruise. So when you buy your shore excursions, you go to checkout, you apply that credit before you have to apply your credit card. You get an upgrade to the premium Wi-Fi, and that's of course important to me because I'm working from the cruise ship, and it is good Wi-Fi. It is very good Wi-Fi. Then you get the elite beverage package, which just gives you a little more choices in wine and spirits. And you get 2 nights of specialty dining, which is great. I think their specialty dining venues are special. Very nice places to visit. So there's several different ways that you can book Holland America. You probably needed a degree to figure this all out, but you're in good hands because I am a elite cruise counselor. So I have the highest level of certification from the Cruise Line International Association. So with the early booking bonus rates, you get that elite beverage package, the premium Wi-Fi, the prepaid crew appreciation, and there's the value of that. I'm not sure if I calculated this correctly on a 14-night cruise, but maybe I did. Sometimes I don't revise my slides. And then the $200 per person shore excursion credit. Oops. Our group rates. So these are deeply discounted rates. They don't have the Have It All early booking bonus. And they're only available through us because we're preferred national account. But oops, and I did not update this slide. Okay, the amounts that you save are updated on the next page. But with the CruiseOne rates plus the Have It All early booking bonus, it's still less expensive than if you were to book with Holland America Direct. And I'll show you where that is right now. Now, because we're booking early, it's not a huge difference, but it's still better. It's still better than booking direct. So to give you an example, this is the VC balcony category. Those are usually in good locations near the elevators, either forward or aft. You're looking at per person $45.49 booking directly with Holland America. This is our rate, the $36.99 with no perks. But when you take that $55 times 14, it comes to $770. Is that right, Steve? Yeah, that's right. Okay. It comes to $44.69. So it comes up $80 less than if you just went on Holland America's website. And that difference will grow. We're still in the early stages of booking this cruise. As Holland America starts
end of July, so
yeah, as Holland America starts to sell out this cruise, which is all the way out in 26, their prices will go up direct with Holland America, and our prices will remain the same because we've locked them in as a group. So this is going to be by far the lowest price that you're going to get. Now, if for some reason there's a huge price drop, of course, we will catch that and honor that, and we will refare you and offer you the option to refare at a lower price. But I hardly ever see that when I take out these groups early with Holland America. And then again, with the ocean view, we have, a savings of about $30 per person. It depends on the cabin category, how much the savings is. But not only are we going to get you the savings, but If you have cruised with Holland America before and you have to have completed a cruise, you can't just have a Mariner number to qualify for this. You get booked. They release these sailings on July 30th. If you book by October 28th, you're going to get another $200 per cabin onboard credit. But you got to get your deposit in by October 28th. And so here's another special part about booking into our group is that we're going to treat you to one extra night of specialty dining in Canaletto. So and that allows you, if you want, you could do Tamarind for one of your specialty dinings and the Pinnacle Grill as one of your specialty dinings, and to do Canaletto as your third one. So you get to try all of the major ones. There's a Rudy Sail de Mer, which we have not tried because it's mostly seafood. Again, I alluded to the fact that Steve doesn't eat much seafood, so we haven't eaten there, but we've eaten at the other three venues and really enjoyed them. Steve was actually surprised at how much he enjoyed the Asian fusion Tamarind restaurant. It was very good. And we're going to give you a Pinnacle Grill lunch on a sea day, and that's a really nice treat. You get to go in and sit down and have some of their gourmet lunch fare that they offer at the Pinnacle Grill. So just really quickly before I sum all this up, I just wanted to let you know we're not one-trick ponies. We have a lot of exciting deals with groups going. We have several of these see your world from your doorstep Holland America cruises, which are round trip from North American ports, so no long flights to get to these exotic places. And then we have room on discounted group space on their solar eclipse cruises. They have a 35-night from Boston. They have a 28-night from Rotterdam and a 13-night Mediterranean. So if you're interested in those, let me know. Those are in 2026. We also do river cruises, and I want to highlight, we've got a couple in the fall of 2025, but I also wanted to highlight this one. This one lines up fairly closely with the Holland America cruise. So you would fly into Amsterdam, take this cruise, you would end up in the Lake Como area, and then fly. You might even be able to fly to Rotterdam, and those little hopper flights in Europe are not super expensive. Fly either to Rotterdam or Amsterdam, spend 4 days in between. It's about 4 days in between.
2 or 3 nights between them.
Yeah. 2 or 3 nights, and then you could get on the Holland America cruise. So it'd be a nice way to combine both a river cruise and an ocean cruise together with one long haul flight. So we like that. Yeah. In 2025, we're doing a circumnavigation of Iceland with a different cruise company, Celebrity Cruises. We've also got in 2026 Antarctica 2 ways. We've got one scenic sailing with Celebrity Cruises, and then we are doing. This is the one we are hosting and escorting. It's an expedition cruise across the Antarctic Circle on this small Greg Mortimer 100-passenger ship. You can see the price point is quite a bit different for the expedition cruise versus the scenic sailing. But on this one, you do get to get off and walk around Antarctica. So that's kind of the really cool part about that. And then we specialize in these wine lovers cruises. This will be our 5th cruise with Ascension Cellars. They have been great partners with us. Eric Allen is their winemaker, their boutique Paso Robles winery. He'll be bringing his wines on board. We'll have 4 exclusive events for our group on board that cruise. And Eric is so gregarious and his wines are so good. We had about 100 people go with us, and more than half of them signed up on that cruise for this 2026 cruise. So that is going to be a fabulous experience for everybody.
35 or 36 cabins, yeah.
Yeah. Celebrity Solar Eclipse, they have 2 cruises in August of 2026 that will be in the path of totality for the solar eclipse. And finally, this is our last one. John and Mandy are doing both of these with us, so yay. These are in October of 26, we're doing a Windstar cruise. It'll go through the Corinth Canal. There are very few ships that can go through there, and you see that's what that ship's doing there. And we're tying them back to back. You just need to have 4 days in Athens in between or somewhere in Greece. And then you get on the next ship on the Azamara, and it goes to Sicily. A lot of intensive in Sicily. I've never been to Sicily.
Albania.
So that's one thing and Albania too. So that's going to be exciting as well. So again, I didn't change this slide. Oh my goodness, I'm going to skip this slide and go to the next one and do my wrap up. So thank you so much for attending. We do have, I should also mention, I'll just go back. We do have a 28-night Alaska with great group rates going in 2025. It's June 8th of 2025. So if you're interested in that, reach out to me. I get your price on that. But call me. We'll get a complete quote to you for your Alaska cruise or this European cruise. And we'd love to have you join us. This is how you can contact us. Of course, you have all this information because we've sent you email confirmations for signing up for the webinar. So again, I want to thank you for coming. I hope that this was informative. As you can see, this European cruise is going to be absolutely fantastic. Great ports, great ship, great company, because we're going along too. So there's no reason not to book. So please reach out to me. I'll get you a full quote. We can talk about everything. Your deposits are completely refundable until 90 days before departure. So there's no risk. Holland America has a great air program. You can book your air through them. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up.
Just as an FYI, later on this evening, we'll send out an email to everybody who registered. It'll have a link to this YouTube recording. So on our YouTube channel, you'll be able to watch this recording again if you want, or share it with other people. You think someone might want to go with it, you can share it with them. So we'll have that out later this evening.
All right. Well, do we want to wrap it up and then open it up to questions? So we'll stop the recording. If you have any questions now, go ahead and ask them, or you can put them in the chat, however you want. Any questions?
Lloyd, if you're talking, you're muted.
Floyd, you're on mute. Yeah.
Mute myself. There I go.
There you go. We can hear you now.
Yeah, now, okay. I'm thinking you had that October 28th deadline for taking advantage of that. I can't remember what the special was on it now, but that's just a couple days from now.
Yeah, it is.
Onboard credit.
It's $200 onboard credit. Now everything else extends past that, but we wanted to let you know that. So if you were even thinking about doing it and wanted to put down your deposit and then figure out whether or not you can go or not, we'd be happy to do that for you, so you can take advantage of that onboard credit. It really is a great program, and it's only available to Mariner members within 90 days of release. And you know, we tried to figure out when we could host this event, and it happened to be right up on the deadline. So, but it is a couple days from now. Yes.
So it's $200
we'll
per
sign
cabin.
Up, okay.
It's $200 per cabin if you combine that with the $200 per person for shore excursion. That gives you a pretty good amount of money to put a dent in some shore excursion. $600 there.
You did a good job with the ship too.
Well, Mary and I will sign up.
All right. All right.
We
Good
love
to hear,
those places.
Floyd.
Your stock owners get $1 more.
Good. Are we getting you a category C midship ocean view, Floyd?
Yeah, that's our.
Okay.
That's our thing.
I'll get a room on hold for you.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
All right. Any other questions you might have?
Suzanne, how much is the deposit?
It is, let me think.
$150.
I think it's about $1,200.
Let me look. I'll look real quick.
He's gonna go look real quick and see what it is.
And also, FYI, if you have $100 shared stock, you get more money on shore excursion.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
But that program is being phased out.
Oh,
They
bummer.
have not. Yeah, well, they haven't announced what it's going to be in 2025, and I don't know whether that means they're discontinuing it or revising it. But
Okay.
but the current statement says it expires at the end of 2024.
Okay.
You get some OBC for AARP too, right?
Yeah, if you're an AARP member or a military veteran, you can get additional onboard credit.
So the deposit was $810 a person. So 1620.
HM. Okay.
It must be a percentage. That's how they come up
Must
with
be,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, and again, that is completely refundable until 90 days before departure.
At least that's what our deposit was, yeah.
I don't see why it would be any different.
No, I agree.
Possibly a suite could be a little bit more, but it's usually Holland America has these weird deposit amounts. So. Okay, well, let's go ahead and stop the recording, Steve.